When it comes to the world's most dangerous foods, you probably think of exotic delicacies that most people will never come in contact with, but you'd be wrong. Some of the worst food dangers are probably in your fridge or pantry right now. Keep watching until the end at your own risk to find out. Let's start with apples. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but don't eat the core with the seeds, it could kill you. Why? Well, they contain amygdalin, a substance that releases cyanide when it comes into contact with your human digestive enzymes. Cyanide is a chemical known as one of the deadliest poisons. It has been used in chemical warfare and mass suicide. Many compounds that contain cyanide are found in nature, often in fruit seeds. Amygdalin is one of these. Apple seeds and many other fruit seeds or pips like peaches, apricots and cherries have a strong outer layer resistant to digestive juices. But if you chew the seeds, amygdalin could be released in the body and produce cyanide. But don't worry if you accidentally eat some while you chomp down on your apple. Small amounts can be detoxified by enzymes in your body. However, large amounts can be dangerous. You will need to finely chew and eat about 200 apple seeds or about 40 apple cores to receive a fatal dose. If you want to be safe, not sorry, spit out seeds to avoid any potential issues. Next on the list is mushrooms. Some fungi are anything but fun. With names like Death Cap and Destroying Angel, these mushrooms aren't messing around.
Those are nature's best mushrooms. Wild, and I have to say, these little buggers are damn tasty as well. Oh, no! No, Michael! No!
Don't be like Michael from The Office. As a rule, if you aren't 100% sure of what you're eating, especially if you pick something yourself, don't risk it. Deadly mushrooms often look uncannily like edible ones, and even experts can find it hard to tell the difference. Author Nicholas Evans, who wrote The Horse Whisperer, and his family nearly died of liver failure after picking the deadly webcat variety. In the US, 14 people were poisoned in San Francisco after eating death cap mushrooms. 3 needed liver transplant, including an 18-month-old baby. In at number 9 are red kidney beans. While eating raw foods is considered healthy, some very unhealthy consequences occur when eating certain foods raw. One such food is the red kidney bean. Red kidney beans contain toxins called lectins, which essentially kill the cells in your stomach, which is not good. The only way to enjoy red kidney beans without this harmful toxin is by preparing them just right, soaking the beans in water for at least 5 hours before consumption. Otherwise, eating as much as half a cup of raw kidney beans can make you seriously ill. Eating even a few undercooked beans can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The US FDA advises boiling red kidney beans for 30 minutes to completely break down the toxin. Canned kidney beans are pre-cooked and completely safe to eat from the tin, so put these in your chili if you want to be 100% safe. Keep watching until the end because there's some foods in this list that just might surprise you. Now let's get back to the video. Number 8 is cinnamon. You've heard of or maybe even witnessed people who've done the cinnamon challenge. The American Association of Poison Control Centers issued a warning in 2012 urging people not to, and with good reason. It could actually kill you.
A new study warning that there's a big danger in attempting the so-called cinnamon challenge, trying to swallow a spoonful of cinnamon in 60 seconds with no water. There's been an alarming spike in the number of poisonings and ER visits, and ABC's Paula Ferris has the story.
This is because it is so difficult to swallow or spit out cinnamon because you're essentially swallowing powdered bark from the cinnamon tree. And if you inhale cinnamon, it can cause inflammation and scarring in your lungs, gagging, vomiting, coughing, choking, and even death. So skip doing those cinnamon challenges and just mix it in your oatmeal or coffee instead. Number 7 are cashews. You'd be nuts to eat this in the wild. When you see raw cashews at the store, know that they are lying to you. Those raw cashews have been steamed to remove a chemical called urushiol, which is also found in poison ivy, if that helps paint a picture. Consuming actual raw cashews can prove fatal, especially for people with an allergy to poison ivy. So, if you ever come across cashews in nature for some reason, don't eat them. Depending on your sensitivity to poison ivy, as little as a handful of raw cashews could be extremely dangerous to the average consumer. Number 6 are bean sprouts. Bean sprouts are skinny little veggies that are big on nutrition. More technically, they begin as seeds, but when they are exposed to the right temperature and moisture, they germinate into very young plants. But they can also cause food poisoning when consumed raw or even lightly cooked. This is because bacteria can thrive in warm, humid environments and sprouts are grown in these conditions. In fact, many outbreaks of foodborne illnesses associated with various types of raw and lightly cooked sprouts have occurred in recent years, mainly by E. coli and Salmonella. Diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps are common symptoms that occur 12 to 17 hours after infection. The trouble is that you can't smell or see if a food is harbouring bacteria. So it's best to make sure your sprouts are properly cooked, which kills harmful bacteria that can be found in sprouts. Number 5 are potatoes. If you have potatoes that look like these, you're better off planting these in the dirt. Ordinary potatoes, if consumed at the wrong time, can be dangerous. The leaves, stem, and sprouts of potato contain glycoalkaloids, a poison found in flowering plants called nightshades, of which potato is one. If you leave a potato in poor condition, as in too moist or bright, or you just let them sit out for too long, they will begin to sprout. It's suggested to throw these potatoes away even if you do cut off the shoots, as the poison may be in the potato if too much time has passed. Scientists claim that a 100-pound person would have to eat 16 ounces of sprouted potatoes to get ill, which is approximately one baked potato. Number 4 is rhubarb. A wrong bite could send you to the pie in the sky. The British fruit is a criminally underappreciated delicacy. It's great in crumbles, cobblers, and even when picked, and lends a sharp, mouth-puckering taste to many classic British dishes. However, the leaves of the plant are deadly. They contain oxalic acid, which causes burning in the mouth and throat, breathing difficulties, coma, and death. You'd have to eat around 5 kilograms of the leaves for them to kill you. Consider this a friendly reminder to monitor how much strawberry rhubarb pie you eat this summer. Number 3 is pufferfish. Pufferfish is one of the most poisonous foods in the world and is banned in the US for good reason.
One fugu.
Not fugu. If it is cut improperly, it's...
Yes, it is poisonous, potentially fatal, but if sliced properly, it can be quite tasty.
I must get the master.
Unless it's cut exactly right, the pufferfish is 1,200 times more deadly than cyanide, which makes those apple seeds look like a walk in the park.
No, Mr. Simpson. If, in fact, you've consumed the venom of the blowfish, and from what the chef has told me, it's quite probable, you have 24 hours to live.
24 hours?
It's a Japanese delicacy, but it can be truly deadly. It can cause a fast, violent death. There is no antidote. The liver, ovaries, and skin of the fish contain the poison tetrodotoxin, which affects a human's nerve system. Chefs that work with pufferfish must train for at least 2 years and have a special license, but many deaths occur when amateurs try to prepare the fish for consumption themselves. Number 2 is nutmeg. This Christmassy spice, which adds its delicate flavour to custards, bechamel, and rice pudding, is a hallucinogenic if eaten in large enough quantities. Yes, you can actually trip on it, but it's said that eating just 0.2 ounce of nutmeg could lead to convulsions and 0.3 ounces could lead to seizures. Eating one whole will supposedly lead to a type of nutmeg psychosis, which includes a sense of impending doom. It can cause convulsions, palpitations, nausea, not to mention visual distortions and a sense of paranoia. So maybe steer clear of having that 10th glass of eggnog, as it takes only around 2 to 3 teaspoons of the ground spice to have an effect. It's also highly toxic to dogs. Number 1 is the bagel. Did you know eating bagels can be a dangerous pastime? Well, it's not actually the eating of the bagel, more the preparation of the bagel. It turns out that bagel-related injuries are some of the most frequent causes of trips to the ER for the average American, even beating out burns from overheated coffee. Imagine you're slicing a bagel, knife in one hand, bagel in the other, and your knife slips sideways. In 2011, around 2,000 Americans went to the hospital with bagel-related injuries. That's quite a lot. If you don't want to beat an ER statistic, try to use the right kind of knife for slicing bagels. This would be a knife with a deeply serrated edge, not a knife with a smooth, sharp edge. Number 2, never cut a bagel while holding it in your hand. And number 3, for stale bagels, wrap them in a damp paper towel and microwave for a few seconds before slicing. This will soften the crust and make cutting the bagel easier. So, which food surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to join my community and watch more videos like this. Remember, enjoy food and stay happy and healthy. Catch you on the next one.